What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
We all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Every time I come on here, I just look younger and younger and younger. Good afternoon. It is 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Landy's in the green room. He's eating on old Skittles and a bottle of water from Costco. Again, the breakdown, episode 684. Okay, 684. Sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. If you care about privacy, you want to look into a real privacy network, you go to midnight.network. Go check them out. Read more about it. I'll go ahead and probably go do some content about it as well and break it down a little bit more this month. We had Charles on last week. We have clips going out from the David Gokshin Clips account on X. Go check that out. And if you missed that episode, it's available on X. You can go to YouTube, Kick, and other channels to go ahead and listen to the hour and a half that me and Charles spoke. Politics, Midnight Network, all that good stuff. Also, sponsored by Cake Wallet. Shout out to Cake Wallet and Vic. Vic will be on hopefully this month. Secure Wallet. That's right. Only good products. Also, Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand, and also the breakdown. And we also have People's Reserve on here as well. People's Reserve, led by CJ. I went ahead and broke that down for you guys yesterday. I recommend go ahead and rewatch yesterday's show. If a chance to go ahead and check out People's Reserve. Anyway, it is 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Actually, 12:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get this show going. We got people coming on today. First person that is here to do, obviously, the regular segment here is Landy. Landy's waiting in the back. Once again, he's eating an old Snickers bar that we have left back in the green room. Puppet, what's going on? How's everything going?
I mean, it's going pretty well. I wish there was better snacks, but it is what it is. How are you this morning or this afternoon? I should say.
I'm great. I'm great, Landy.
Yeah, you're doing great because
I'm doing good. I finally got to go out and finally got my hair cut. I was waiting for a very long time, suffering with
suffering. I
I had
mean,
Jufro, you know what I'm saying? And now I got like the it's a different kind of Jufro going. So
yeah, I mean, you can go full pompadour if you really want. Just really let the top grow out and just let it go. Just see how high it can go, like an 80s cartoon style high,
I'm
right?
thinking maybe do the Odell Beckham and just also grow it out to the back, get
Yeah.
the mullet kind of thing happening.
I
Nah,
mean
I mean it wouldn't fit the suit, but I'm just saying it would look. I don't know.
I mean, I you can trend set that way. You can with the suit. I you know, it's the Theo Vaughn look with a suit. I could see it. I could see it.
I can see it too. Well, welcome, of course, and welcome to the segment. This is where we recap the market for 15 minutes here on this show.
Yep.
Landy loves, Landy. It's really hard with Landy because Landy doesn't like to talk a lot, so it's really hard to get him to go ahead and talk on other subjects.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
anyway, real quickly though, just to mention this, 9 p.m. yesterday Eastern Standard Time, Landy did come out with the market recap. You should go check that out. He broke down a lot of things, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people like it. For some reason, people like what he's doing, and I think you should go ahead and check it out and see why people like it. I liked it, so I'm
I
one of those people that actually liked it.
I appreciate that. Look, it's it's tough for many to gauge which way things are going. And one of the things that I try to do and impart on, the audience here or in the recorded videos is it's not about predicting where the market is going. It's about taking advantage of where the market is going and planning for where it could potentially go next. And that's where, if you are trading the markets, you can make a lot of money, but it also is to provide clarity of where price could potentially go should certain levels break. And we actually had an important level break yesterday. I can always share the screen here. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and that was getting above 74 to 75K for Bitcoin in particular. And we now have seen that break and close above 75. The next major level of interest above here is going to be that 78 to 80. And what we needed to see was that close above 75. Now the criteria becomes what needs to hold if Bitcoin comes back down in order for it to continue on to test 78, 80, and then maybe potentially more. Well, it would need to in this case, you'd wanna see it preferably for immediate continuation. If it does come back down, holding above the high there at 74.1 area would be a good area to look. Anywhere back to the downside here, you really wanna see the top side of this tighter range hold up around the 70,000, 70,500 area to the downside. So it can come into this range between around 70 to 72. You don't really wanna see it dropping that area because it's likely gonna test these swings, where price was getting bid up around the 68 to $69,000 area, and if that does fail, we're right back to the lows again. The higher low at 65.5 to this downside range between 65 and 62.5. And in order for the bulls to really continue this rally out of this range, we would need to see it, holding at the minimum, the swings here, around that 68 to 69 can any move back down. So if you do see it start to trade back towards the 70 to 72 area, pay close attention to that. On closes below 68, we're probably looking at, 65 and under down to 62.5 and potentially more if that were to fall apart. But enjoy the rally while you can. It's early in the session today still. You're still about half the session to go. We did put in a high around 76K. So, getting above there, 78 to 80 is not too far away. And
Do
beware
you
of,
think it happens this week or no?
um, you know, this, if we close anything like this, it's, it could use another little correction as long as it doesn't drop the 70 to 68 region. But if it hangs here, yes, I think that if it hangs here in and around the mid 70s, it does have a high percentage chance even of trying for 78 to 80. the thing is, this is a pretty extended move on the daily. Could use a correction back down to find support, and that's when things actually get interesting. It's Tuesday. The Wednesday into Thursday session, those can be reversals. So I would pay attention to that coming into the latter half of the week, towards the weekly close. And I don't really have. We've kind of hit, like, for my trade, the 74 to 75 area was my first big take profit zone, for instance, for me in trading. The next bigger area to take profit would be, the 78 to 80 and above for the swing trade. And this was, the bigger area for my first bulk of my take profits, just because if it comes right back down into range, I can either find opportunity on the other side, or it's going to head to the downside anyway and try to find support, and I can look for bids there. But realistically, um, if it closes anything like this would be an indecisive daily candle, and likely would want to come back down for a little bit of a retest, find some liquidity. Liquidity up here is getting a little thin, but holding on a close 74 to 75 gives it the chance to still continue to the upside. It's losing a little bit of momentum. It's kind of in an area where it's right up against the edge of the bullish control zone for relative strength. There's all kinds of stuff that's, you know, saying like a wait and see how today closes and see how the Wednesday session goes. Um, and a lot of eyes obviously are still going to be on oil, and by proxy, the DXY. So oil did go back and retest after yesterday's candle, came back down into the 90 to 95 range, retested the 98 to $100 barrel area, and then has now re-entered this zone. If it does drop 90, we're looking mid 80s, down to low 80s. And this is where, if it starts to drop below here, in particular, we'll grab some moving averages and bands and stuff. If it starts to drop below that $90 region, this is, for those that want to do the math or understand the math, all you need to know is this is a nice big volatile move up, and a move back below 90 would beget more mean reversion back to the 78 to 80 region. If we started to see any of this form a top up here, even though it would be a higher high close, it would be a lower high swing. That would likely lead to, the 78 to 80 region. I'm watching 83.30 as an inflection point on lower term time frames, not really relevant. But if we drop 90, we're likely going to see a move towards the mid 80s to low 80s, and then we have to watch it carefully from there, as we do have a basis band kind of coming up. Anywhere below the low of this last higher low swing at 76, 75 to 76, I'd be looking for 68 to 70 to the downside as an area of interest for oil. But watch it carefully. If it breaks it back out above $100, 105's in the cards. If we start seeing it close above the highs here at 102.50, and then that would open up the doors for a macro retest of the 115 to 130 by the high there at 120. I would be looking at that as a very rejective area if this isn't already the rejection off of yesterday's close. And this candle today for oil is not, it might be green right now, but it's not a bullish candle. It spiked up and then sold off pretty aggressively. So, we could be looking at this starting to come down a little bit more. That would be good for, as I mentioned yesterday, that'd be good for Dixie coming back down. You see Dixie now did come down and hit some of what I was talking about yesterday around the 99.50 area. If it drops down another 50 cents here to 99 even, or starts to dip under there, that means oil is coming down. And I think that would bring a little bit more life to Bitcoin trying to hit some highs, as well as we get a little bit of a risk rotation or risk on rotation. And of course, with oil coming back down and Dixie coming back down, you see that markets over here for Dow, Dow are up, but getting sold off a little bit here. You've got NASDAQ spiked up and then getting a little sold off here. And you've got SPY reclaiming the low at 670 and then hitting up to 674, not quite 675, but then coming back down. So it's really about kind of what oil does through the close today, how Dixie reacts to the area that it just recovered in the macro. I think is going to spell a lot out for us in Bitcoin as it pertains to potential continuation. So if we close the day red with the rest of the market, and then tomorrow, 90 to 95 holds up for oil and Dixie rallies, we likely see this come back down and markets in general come back down as well.
What do you say? What do you see Bitcoin finishing up this week?
I mean, it's tough to say. It really is condition based. Above 74 to 75K. Very highly likely we start finishing towards the top side here, between 76 and 78 overhead resistance. But if we do drop by the end of the week, if we start dropping around 72, we're probably going to finish more towards the 68 to 70 region, potentially even breaking down below there. I don't really have a prediction to make on that. It's more like watch the auction this week because we have so many different dynamics at play for where liquidity is going in reaction to some of the market movements coming into the FOMC meeting tomorrow. That could, we could be seeing a setup for, kind of what the market wants in the lead up to that meeting. And then we'll see what comes out the other side of the lower term time frame volatility in that meeting. I'm not expecting a rate change. I don't think the market is either, but right now I think a lot is being hedged ahead of tomorrow's meeting. So I think, after tomorrow's meeting, which I think there will be a rate decision out. No, the rate decision won't be out when we talk tomorrow, but Thursday, of course, we will have kind of the aftermath. I think Thursday we'll have a much better idea of where the week would finish up. Now, remember, for the audience, Bitcoin's weekly closes on Sunday. Traditional markets, you're going to see the close on Friday. So we have, all the way till Sunday to really kind of gauge where this is going to head and start to get closes at. In reference to yesterday, what we talked about, we talked quite a bit about the weekly and some of the important areas and extremes that it's at. And I've, kind of planting my flag on the we still have much more time to go. We have plenty of time to form a low, even a potentially lower low. As we don't have any bull setups in play right now, there's no reversals. This is just another low, even if it locks in. And we need to see this by the end of the week, how you would know that this low is set on the close, not just the swing at 60. It would be set on closes above 74.1. But we don't want to see just swings right up and then right back down, which is very probable, by the way, is to set the low and come right back up, retest resistance, maybe even head a little bit further and then head back down. But you don't want to see it happen really local. Because then it's just going to come and chop and it's really boring, or it's just going to dump out really aggressively. And I don't really see this going for an extreme dump out unless we push a little bit higher. I could see more of a swing of the lows if it put in a local high here. I don't really have an opinion until we start getting closer to on the other side of the FOMC meeting and closer to mid Thursday session. That's when I'll have a good idea of where things are headed.
Would you say that the markets, just before you go, do you see that the markets, number one, let me ask you this. Well, you got 2 minutes. I don't know how you can put this together in 2 minutes, but I'm sure you can. You're a genius. Do you see the war coming to a conclusion anytime soon?
Well, I mean, that's tough to say. I would argue that, you know that I track pretty heavily what's going on when it comes to military action. There is no doubt that the United States and Israel are there is no losing this war and this narrative out there that there's like somehow going to be some position of loss on the Western nation side of things. And I don't really care what anybody's opinion of it is. No, the United States has complete supremacy over the air, the sea presence as well, and most of the regime is in chaos, right? And or not no longer with us, right? And I think right now this enters the phase that is actually the hardest phase. Um, now that we know that the actual manufacturing facilities have been hit, and we know that many of the sites have been hit and are no longer operational. Most of their navy is no longer operational. It's now about tackling the decentralized nature of the regime's infrastructure from not just a governance standpoint but a military standpoint, because they were highly decentralized, and and meaning that they can operate autonomously. And that's where I think that's going to be the next phase, is going after, I believe, the autonomous network that can operate independently based on pre-existing orders. Um, there's been rumors and indications that leadership in Iran has reached out and tried to broker a deal with the West, and it's been rejected. And I guess the West is doubling down on taking out all of this infrastructure. I think that that's going to continue, obviously, but I think it's going to start to focus on remaining leadership and those who are hiding out, and that's going to be the longer part of the campaign. So I would venture, another 2 to 4 weeks just doing that, and you probably won't hear too much else. You'll still hear sporadic attacks out of Iran towards the Gulf nations or maybe even the Strait, but it does look as though that this is operationally starting to move towards targeting additional assets to prevent power grabs and any sort of coalition forming, and then taking care of the remnants of those who are operating weapons that could potentially strike outside of Iran, or those operating over the skies of Iran at the moment. So I'm going to say, from my best guesstimate, obviously I don't know anything more than the public. I just know kind of where to look and research, and have a lot of connections that I talk to that are very informed on this subject. And it looks as though, probably by the end of this week, we've got 2 to 4 weeks of grind, and then that would probably put us, near the end of April, coming into May, and that would be within a week or two of the end of next month. I think that things will probably be pretty well wrapped up, and I would track the news. As for like things like energy pricing and oil, we're already seeing a reroute out of Saudi Arabia and ships lining up there. There's still ships going through the Strait of Hormuz from the Gulf Oman, sorry. And they're still just turning off transponders and then going through the strait and turning them on the other side. It has slowed because of fears and insurance stuff, and then reinsurance, and all that stuff takes time. So there's a little bit of lag time on that side of things, but I think there's relief coming there for, like South Korea, Japan, China, in terms of oil. And, it's just going to take a little bit of, operations in the skies, and I think to clean up all the remnants of some of their programs for drone production, existing drones that are out there in remote locations, ballistic missiles, and likely a few more storage facilities and things like that they're targeting or have already targeted. And then it's really about searching out anything that's hidden, and then finding remaining leadership for the various factions within the architecture of their military infrastructure, and leadership infrastructure. So that'll take a little time.
Welcome to the breakdown. As Landy, you're always giving such beautiful theses on what's happening in the world. Can you do me a favor just for the TikTok crew? Because there's a big TikTok crew that loves XRP. Would you be able to go ahead and chart XRP real quick and tell
Sure.
the XRP army what's happening with XRP? They wait in the chat. Shout out to TikTok, especially when I'm not restricted on the goddamn live. They wait patiently, and I think after 5 months already, they deserve a little breakdown of the XRP chart. Where's it going? Where's it heading? Is it going at $20,000 per token?
Look, you're not going to get any crazy takes out of me when it comes to XRP. There is, very, very clear overhead resistance for XRP longer term around the 800. And that's the bottom side of the range there, about a buck 75 to a buck 80 to the upside. This is expansion into a moving average. It needs to continue above the $1.60 region to go test that $1.75 and then have the potential for $2 and more. Otherwise it's range bound, and you really just, if you're trading or watching XRP for opportunities as an investor, if it starts to trade back below 132 to the low at about 127, there's a 5 cent area between 127 and 132. If it drops, it's going to go retest this low. Almost assuredly, you're going to go retest the 120 to the low there at 112. If it drops it, it's expansion. Daily looks like it's set up for, I'm gonna be straight up with you. It kind of looks like it's set up for a rejection, which makes me think that, if it does not get immediate continuation and hold up the top side of this range around the $1.50 area, I'd say $1.47 to $1.50 area, it's probably going to head back down, and you're likely seeing Bitcoin and the other majors do the same. Weekly is likely what many in the army are looking at. And I want to pull in the main chart here instead of the Binance chart, because it's a little noisy there with the liquidations and where the wicks landed. So rather get a good picture of this coming off of the 200s, right, for the weekly. And this is where, I would argue that the downside anywhere below that swing low, not good, headed towards $1, maybe 80 cents. Down here, dollar being the first area and then made 80-cent region being the next. But this can also consolidate, and we've seen XRP loves to consolidate for long, long, long periods of time. And this is a solid low, much like the low on Bitcoin, that can get swung around that $1.12 area to the dollar region safely and still be okay. And the encouraging thing for XRP Army would be setting a low above the $1.51 region and then taking out a $1.66 to test into that $1.75, $1.80 region. That would start to look really good for them to at least test up towards the $1.90 to $2 region. But this is set up for a rejection. I think it's going to consolidate for a period of time. And you really just don't want to see locally on lower term timeframes. You don't want to see the $1.32 to $1.27, that 5 cent region on the range lows dropped, or else it's headed back down to test those lows. And from the longer term timeframes, that also would start to paint this as a high or a rejection, right? We are rejecting off the $1.60 region on the top side here, which is a zone that I have picked out from a long time ago. And you want to see that recovered and then head up, and then realistically just hold the range lows. That's really it. If you want to be really, really easy about it, if you see it trading below $1.30, it's trouble. Likely going to test that low. It's like Bitcoin testing below 65, very highly likely going to test, around the 62.5 area. and lower, potentially down to the actual swing low. That would look a little bit different for XRP, because if it started to drop the $27 and $32 area, that'd be dropping the weekly closing low area, and headed towards the $27 here, and then headed towards the actual low by the lower second. That'd be your confluent zone of interest, and you could call it $1.10 to $1.15 down here, no problem for a swing. And you don't want to see it really breaking down below there, or its continuation to $1 and potentially under. But upside's the name of the game. Watch Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin goes in general direction, you will see the rest of the majors go.
There you have it, Landy. Landy is letting you guys know what time it is. Let's go ahead and bring you in here, man. Let's go ahead and turn off the chart, obviously, and bring Landy in here. Landy,
Yes, sir.
you're amazing, man. You're amazing, and I hope that people are checking out your recaps on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Correct? It's 9 p.m., right?
Yeah, 9 p.m. Yesterday it was a little bit later, getting the upload up, but I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from newer people who are just finding out about those videos, and getting a lot of requests as well. One of the big things that I have to say is, maybe I'd like the request coming in for XRP Army here. Maybe something like that. I can only really do so much. I got a bunch of messages yesterday that were just like random requests for a bunch of different things. I can only look at so much. I am only one person, and the main reason that I look at Bitcoin is because it's the market leader in general. Where Bitcoin goes in direction, the rest of the market will typically follow. Yes, there will be outliers that don't, and there will be outliers that do something different. But in general, especially when you're looking at the majors, where Bitcoin goes in general, your majors are going to go, with varying degrees of strength. It used to be that we could look at the Bitcoin pairs for each thing and kind of figure that out. That's not as relevant this cycle. And although it's really good for identifying opportunities in general, watch Bitcoin. You're likely going to see your favorite altcoin do something similar, except for meme coins. Okay, meme coins, they've been doing a little bit of wacky stuff. All right, they've been kind of like pumping when Bitcoin's going down and kind of dumping when it goes up. That's usually just liquidity grabs. When Bitcoin actually picks a direction on a break, that's when the meme coins will move. I had that question come in DMs while we were talking yesterday. In general, it's after Bitcoin changes structure. So when it breaks structure to the upside, like it did last cycle, that's when memes started to actually not just do crazy stuff, but actually move with Bitcoin's move, which was very interesting. So we'll see kind of where that goes as we head forward. Look, I think we have time to accumulate. I'm not expecting some sort of massive one shot to the upside and we're back bull runs on, in the immediate short term. I think it's going to take a little while, and it's going to provide everyone with a lot of really good opportunities and setups. And then if you get positioned now, no one can tell you were lucky later, because if you're planning and you're accumulating now, that's not luck. All right. You didn't get lucky. You were
You didn't
paying
get
attention.
lucky. You were paying attention. Okay. You were paying attention. Landy, much respect to you, brother, as always.
Yes,
As
sir. Well,
always.
thank you, David. I appreciate you. Like the haircut, like the suit, like the American flag pin. So, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the show with the audience, actually, because today I've got a little bit of free time for once.
Landy having free time is amazing. Is amazing. Are you sure? Did you have free time?
No, I'm probably going to be on a space, but I'm still going to watch the show. So yeah, but I'll have a little bit of free time. I'm actually not doing other work while doing all of this stuff, which is for the first time in a while that I have had a little bit of free time outside of being online, when I'm typically working while also talking to everyone, including yourself. I'm actually really, really happy. It makes me happy. I'll tell you more about it behind the scenes, though.
I'm happy that you're happy.
Hey, and I hope that you're happy, because we've got nothing but good things ahead, even though there's a lot of doomers and, kind of pushing an agenda one way or the other when it comes to this stuff. Man, we are moving forward as an industry, especially in crypto. We are not moving backwards. And it doesn't matter what happens in Washington, D.C., because it's not going to stop innovation here. And it's not going to stop this stuff from moving forward in terms of adoption. And I'm very, very excited. Look, man, there's some really big stuff that's going on behind the scenes that makes me excited about still, after all of these years, being early to the cryptocurrency space and the technology in general as well.
I'm happy that you're happy.
You're gonna kill me with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please tune in to Landy's recaps from on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They're really, listen, I bust Landy's bowl. Really, I don't. I actually don't bust Landy's bowls. But again, tune into Landy's stuff. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the new time. Obviously, we went forward with the time. He changed his time. Okay. The puppet has changed his time. So you can tune in and you can have a really good time getting some value. Okay. Getting some fucking value. Thank you very much, Landy. We will see you tomorrow, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to break down the markets. Looking forward to Friday and seeing how we go ahead and close up this week.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for having me, David. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
The puppet, everybody. The greatest T8 champ of all time, Landy. That's right, Landy the puppet. I know, listen, I know a lot of people tuning in are just like, why does this guy have a puppet on? And why is this puppet breaking down? Why is he breaking down the markets? Why isn't he on here like you in a suit breaking it down? Listen, man, we're in a new world. We've gone digital. People like to use avatars to represent them. And Landy is one with the puppet. That's right. Landy is one with the puppet. I remember somebody came into a space one time and said, I am the penguin and the penguin is me. And that was about the Pudgy Penguins. And I feel like that is Landy. Landy is one with the puppet and the puppet is him. Ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned in to episode 684 of The Breakdown, sponsored by Midnight. Good people at Midnight. Clips are doing phenomenal. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. Big shout out to TikTok. Much appreciate you, motherfuckers. I really do. Appreciate everybody who tunes in every single day, Monday through Fridays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we break down the markets and we talk about political topics. Honestly, you know what I've been seeing lately? It's my political views really bring a bunch of people into the goddamn room. Really, it's like any single time I start touching on politics, I get everybody into the goddamn room. Because you know what it is? I think that people want to hear my political takes and my takes on everything that's happening politically. Damn, if I was a freestyle rapper, I'd be the illest. Let's talk about some political stuff right now. Trump says, and this has just come in, Trump, well, about an hour ago, he said that the U.S. no longer needs NATO. Let me rephrase that a little bit, because you know how everybody can take words out of context. Trump announces that that Iran's Navy, Air Force, and anti-aircraft radars are all gone, declares the U.S. no longer needs NATO assistance. This is what I mean when you have mainstream media. They'll say, mainstream media, the radical left, the liberals, they'll say that Trump said, we no longer need NATO. And you know what? We don't, because none of them helped. All these people that are supposed to be our allies, all these countries that are supposed to be our allies, they haven't helped. They haven't helped us. By the way, TikTok, You need to get on your game because everybody else is starting to take over. You need to reshare this. You need to reshare the live stream on TikTok. You need to double tap on that goddamn screen like your life depends on it. Okay? You need to go hard in the paint. Hard. I'm talking about call family members right now and tell them that David's about to go on a rant. He's ready. I don't know why we're in NATO. I really don't know why we're in NATO. What does NATO do for us? Like, what does NATO do for us? All they do is bitch and complain. Maybe in the past, NATO had, all these countries had balls. They don't have balls no more. They don't have any balls anymore. They're more concerned with pronouns. They're okay with Iran. Let's not do anything to Iran. No, let Iran just fucking get a nuclear weapon. It's okay. We'll deal with it when it happens. Maybe we'll drop some more money to Iran and help them. You have these CNN panels that are like, hey, no, Obama negotiated a really good deal. He gave them money to make sure that it would only be 15 years away. And then when 15 years comes, then we can negotiate when they already have a nuclear weapon. Who the fuck are you going to negotiate with when they got a nuclear weapon? Sir, yeah, we like to negotiate now. Even though you've created and you've stockpiled nuclear weapons now, we'd like to negotiate. What? What are we talking about? What negotiations? We can't pass the SAVE Act. I really don't understand this. We can't pass the SAVE Act. Americans, even Democrats, they are for the SAVE Act. We can't pass the SAVE Act. We got politicians in office that are saying they will not fund the Department of Homeland Security. We have TSA agents that are quitting. We have TSA agents that are standing there that are willing not to get paid and willing to wait all this bullshit out, and they're tired because they're overworked. And who knows who's coming into the fucking country? With the lack of agents out there, who knows? I watch Democrats go on CNN and they don't even know what to say. They go back to talking points from 20 years ago. I don't understand. You're supposed to be working for the American people, the United States of America. I don't understand what the fuck is happening and why we are accepting it. Trump yesterday had everybody in a panic. He went ahead and floated an idea or trolled and stated that the president stated that he might make Venezuela the 51st state of the United States of America. And that, oh my God, fascist, Nazi, that's what they started calling him. It's gotten so bad. Here's my take on the freedom of press, because I believe in the freedom of press, regardless of what side, is reporting on it, liberals or conservatives. When you have mainstream media who is currently reporting on, obviously, the Iran war, And they're like reporting in a way where they want, it feels like they are anti-America. Because I watch these, because most of these mainstream media channels, they're full of, or they're controlled by liberals. Let's call it for what it is. There's only like 2-3 channels that, you know, 2 of them report in down the middle, and one of them obviously reports, you know, a little bit more conservatively. But why would I want? Why would we want camera crews out there misleading the general public and editing the tapes? And don't say they're not doing that, because they have shown that they are capable of doing these things. CBS did it with Kamala Harris, 60 Minutes. They did it with January 6th when they edited Trump's speech in DC by the Capitol to make it seem like he told everybody to go ahead and run into the Capitol and do what happened on that day. BBC, same thing. Same thing with the BBC. So why do we want, like, CNN is out there reporting on behalf of this regime. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. They're out there reporting on behalf of this regime. This is crazy. This is crazy. It's in the insanity. The insanity when it comes to Trump. It's crazy. Like honestly, you got to sit back. I say this all the time. I don't care what party you're affiliated with. You got to sit back for a second and say, like, this is absolutely insane. There is nothing that Trump can do. Cure cancer, cure the deadliest disease on the planet. There's nothing. I'm talking about nothing that this man can do to have you say, that was a good job. That's what I'm talking about. You don't have to like every decision he makes. You could say, hey, I don't like that. Or you could say, oh, you know what? Even though I didn't vote for Trump, I think that was a good thing for America. Why can't we go back to the days where we can acknowledge the good things that have happened? When Biden did something good, I acknowledged it. When Obama did something good, I acknowledged it. Why can't we just say, Trump's, he's done a pretty good job? Why can't you say it? What is it? What is it that makes you hate Trump so bad? What makes it, why do you hate this man? Why do you hate the president of the United States of America so much? You guys really got to sit down and think about this. Seriously, why do you hate America so bad? A lot of you guys really hate America a lot. Why are you here? If you don't like America, you think America is under some sort of Nazi regime, why don't you leave? You won't leave because you won't be able to speak the way you speak. Go to the UK and see if you can go ahead and tweet anything negative on social media. Go see if you can go ahead and post up anything negative on social media. Go to Russia, go to China, go to North Korea. Go see how it works out. Seriously, go see how it works out. The hatred for Trump comes from mainstream media. That is the answer. Mainstream media brainwashed the shit out of regular, ordinary Americans to despise this man. And it also has come not just from mainstream media, but it's come from the Democratic side, like the Hillary Clintons, okay? Them saying the things that they've said, the past and even in the present, that has caused a lot of people to dislike Trump. Really has. If you look at the polling numbers, if you look at the polling numbers, people love Trump. If you look at the MAGA movement, they're still with Trump. All these things that have come out saying that MAGA, I forgot that girl. She was a part of the pageant, the Miss USA. She came out, I think yesterday or a day or 2 days ago on a podcast, said that she's spoken to people in the MAGA movement and they've said they've left. So you've spoken to 77 million people? Do you understand how all this gets twisted up? And what narratives are being pushed out? 77, you spoke to 77 million people that voted for Donald Trump, and they said that they are no longer siding with the president. Even CNN came out and the polling numbers are in Trump's favor. Do you understand what CNN is anti-Trump? And for them to have to come out and tell you that, no, listen, the numbers are these, that even Democrats, 80% plus Democrats want to see the SAVE Act. They agree with President Trump. Do you understand how much that probably hurts for them to go ahead and do so? Have you seen the anchors' faces when they're standing next to the guy who does the polling? And their faces are just like they got the worst news in the world. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
back. Welcome back to the breakdown, episode 684, second hour. Shout out to Cake Wallet Vic, and the entire team. Also, shout out to our newest sponsor, People's Reserve. Let me give you another round of applause there. Talked about them yesterday. You can go ahead and check them out. That's right. Polymarket as well. Major shout out. Okay. No, it is 684. I didn't say 64. I said 680. I said 64. Am I having a bite moment? Okay. At 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be joined by Mooney. That's it. Is it right? Mooney or Mooney? I'll ask her when she comes on. She went viral. She went viral for this video. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find it. I'll put it on for you guys. Oh. Okay, I can't find it. Great. That is great. I can't find it. Well, let me see if I can find it. It went viral for this video. Okay, let me see if I can post this up. Let's try to post this up. Hold on. You know, basically, everybody wants to talk about everything that's happening in Iran. I just want to bring in the real individuals that actually live there, or experience that life. And here, this is the video that she went viral for. Say that again. Stop that. So there you go. She shared this video and it went absolutely viral. 9 million views. 9 million views for this video. Over almost 90,000 likes, 13,000 bookmarks. I'm sure that half of those, I'm not gonna even start. A lot of comments, and that's just on X. You know, that's not even, talking about, Instagram and YouTube and all that other stuff. But under her post, it says, okay, y'all, if you're looking for an Iranian baddie who is dancing Trump song, hi, that's me. I left Iran a few years ago, now doing my PhD in engineering in the US. I'm beyond grateful for the freedom here and the dream so many Iranians are fighting for. Thank you, America, for your love and support. Thank you, President Trump. Follow for the vibes. So there you go. We have people that don't like. We have people that have come from other countries. This is what I said yesterday. We have people from other countries that would love to be here in the United States of America. We have a lot of people that would love to be on American soil, being a part of America. Okay, being a part of the fabric. They will love it. Love it. And for those who do come here, for those immigrants that do immigrate over to the United States of America, they love this country. Have you ever talked to anybody who has immigrated from a different country to America? They absolutely light up when they talk about the United States of America. I know this because I've talked to plenty of immigrants who have immigrated from socialist, communist countries, and they love everything about this country. Period. It's our own people. It is our own people. If you watch mainstream media, it is our own people that talk so harshly about this land. So that's why I said, if you don't like it here, let me read it. Where is it? Let me read it. This is exactly what I said. I said this and I stand by this. I'll find it right now. Where is it? All I see is Landy all over the place. Okay, this is what I said. And I mean this. I wholeheartedly mean this. If someone hates America, why keep them here? I'd rather give their spot to immigrants who are waiting in line for a chance at a better future. Those are people who tend to be grateful and productive. And it's the truth. That is 100% factual when I say that. Obviously, we have people that are proud to be American. We have people that are proud to be American. Then you have people that just absolutely wake up miserable every single morning in the greatest country in the world. I don't care what kind of, listen, we all wake up and sometimes we're in a bad mood. But do you understand the privilege? Number one, God allowing you to wake up, that's an extension that he's given you. You should be blessed. Now you wake up, you should be grateful. You go out here, freedom of speech, opportunities. You can be anything you want to be in this. It sounds cliche, but it's true. You can be anything you want to be in the United States of America. You can. Do we have problems? Yeah. But you know what? Our pros outweigh the cons. You can do anything you want in this country. You can open up a business. You can find plenty of jobs in the financial sector. You can do so much. You can speak your mind. You talk about no kings. You talk about Trump being a fascist, no kings, da da da. Yeah, you go out and protest. You're allowed to do so many things. I don't know how productive protesting is, but you're allowed to do many things in this country. Go try that somewhere else. Go try that somewhere. And if you don't like it here, I'm going to say this again. If you don't like it here, and you're actually rooting for Iran to win against the United States of America, if you are rooting for our military to lose, why are you here? You should be deported. You should be deported. You should. There's freedom of speech, and then there's absolutely hating your country. Wouldn't we be a much more productive country if we allowed people who wait in line, who follow the policy, who wait in line? Wouldn't we be more productive with immigrants who come over to this country and actually want to be here, that are happy to be here? And like I said, want to be a part of the fabric of the United States of America. They want to build things, not for themselves, but for their families and their bloodline. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, it is 1:15. It's 1:16. You've joined the breakdown, episode 684. We got a guest in the back. We're gonna bring her right in. She's gone viral for doing Trump's dance. That dance that I just showcased to you guys earlier, about 5 minutes ago. Let's bring her right on here. Is it Mooney or Mooney? Go ahead and correct me.
Hi, David. It's Mune.
How's it going? It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so much. How's it going with you?
I am happy. I'm always happy. I'm always full of energy and excited to have conversations with people like you, especially on this kind of topic. We've obviously been talking about everything that's going on, the conflict, or I should say the special operation that the U.S. and Israel have launched over in Iran to end the war that has been going on for the last 4 decades. Obviously, you came over from Iran. I like having people that have actually lived in a country and have seen or been a part of the regime that has obviously been absolutely destructive to its people. We get to hear it from you. You've lived there. What is it really like? Because mainstream media in the United States of America reports differently.
Well, David, I used to live in Iran since I was a kid. Like I born and raised, and I moved to US about like 2 years ago. So pretty much my whole life I was in Iran, and I know exactly what's happening there. It's completely different. Like people in media, people in West do not have any idea how's it like to be, how's it like to live under like a country who you do not have any uh, freedom to do anything. Like you cannot choose what to wear, you cannot choose what to eat, what to drink, what to do. It's completely different. So um, as you just mentioned, I really don't understand those people that rooting for those people invest in media rooting for like Iran in this situation to win, while all the Iranians inside and outside they want like this regime to fall. They want this regime to go away because this brutal regime, this tyrannical regime, is not only like it's not only like harming Iranians inside. They're about to do like something very very big to the whole world. Like President Donald Trump, that he's doing this not only for Americans, not only for Iranians, he's doing it for the whole world, because once they get access, once they have hands on nukes, the whole world gonna be a place like an unsafe, like not safe place to live. So this is not only for Iranians and Americans.
What's life like, or what was life like? I mean, I can still say it in present sense, but what is life like in Iran under this regime? Like, can you give us an example of
Yeah,
day to
absolutely.
day?
Absolutely. So if you just go out and talk something against the government, it doesn't matter, small, very small, just to say that I hate that guy and I hate the supreme leader, they're gonna find you, they're gonna catch you, they're gonna arrest you, and they're gonna torture you, and at so many cases, they're gonna kill you. This is just one of them. Like I'm just saying as an example, because people in America, they go outside, they protest, they talk about anything they want, they say stuff, anything to like people in government, that they want to say about them, and there's no consequences for them. There is no nothing to go after them. They can just freely talk about government people in America, but in Iran, if you talk about them, they're gonna come and they catch you. Even me as a person, as a Iranian outside Iran, they created something like punishment committee. They put my picture in that punishment committee and said very awful stuff. Like uh, they send me a lot of safety threats. They said that we're gonna took your Iranian citizenship, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and obviously if I come back to Iran, they're gonna arrest me and they're gonna torture me. That this is like obvious. So this is just one example of living under this Islamic country like Iran.
How many people? Uh, how many people, or have you heard? Obviously, I'm sure that you talk to people that are still there. If you're capable of talking to anybody that's still there, um, I don't know what kind of access they have in terms of internet access.
Mhm.
How many people have been killed out there? I mean, we know that a number has been thrown around, about 30 to 40,000 Iranian people have been killed for protesting. But how many people? What do you think is the real number there? And also, give me a percent of people in Iran, whether it's 70%, 80%, that are looking to go ahead and topple this terroristic regime that has been obviously installed for the last 4 decades.
Sure. Um, I believe last month when there were a massacre happening in Iran, Iranian inside Iran were protesting in the street. I believe more than 50,000 people got murdered by Islamic regime in the street in less than 2 days, because there were heavy military machine guns in the street. There were snipers in buildings, and they were using chemical weapons against people in the street. And on the other side, just to like give you just to give you like a picture of what's going on there. On the other side, there were people with completely bare hands. Like all we know, like people in USA, they can have access to guns and stuff, but there is no access to guns, there is no access to anything. People with bare hands in the street just protesting for their basic human rights, and were chanting for their leader, Princess of Pahlavi. This is the only thing that they were doing. And on the other side, Islamic forces were with heavy military machine guns and snipers and guns and everything. And they were killing, like massacring so many people. They were burning people in the street. There were millions of Iranian coming out in the street last month in January 8th and 9th, after Princess of Pahlavi calling on them, okay, people, just come to the street and chant for what you exactly want. And millions of people showed up. And all of them, they knew if they show up to the street, they might not come back alive. And still they came. And this is a real number. If you see those videos, they were like spotless, like so many people in the street that you couldn't like find anywhere like empty without any like person in the frame. So that was crazy. And I believe 90 more than 90% of Iranians, they want this regime to go away. They want a change in regime, definitely, for sure, because after this massacre that happened, everyone saw that, because it wasn't just killing in the street. It was, they arrest so many. They arrested thousands of people, and they tortured them in jail. They raped women. They burned women after they raped them because they want to eliminate the proof of rapes. They brought forces from Afghanistan because Iran, Islamic regime, doesn't have like enough. Apparently, doesn't have enough forces to like to oppress people in the street. They brought forces from Afghanistan, from Taliban, to help them to kill their own civilians. And this is the thing that I'm trying to like say, trying to like tell everyone, to the whole world, okay, this regime killed thousands of their own civilians, regular people, and not just like people like me. They were kids. They were 2 years old kid in their parents' arm in the street that the Islamic regime forces shot to those kids. They were pregnant women. They were children. They were 10 years old, 12 years old, 16, 17. So many of them are, their age was less than me. And Islamic regime still killed them, murdered them in the street. And this is the thing that I'm trying to say, that this regime did this to their own civilians. Just imagine what they can do to the whole world once they get access to the nukes. And this is the thing that President Donald Trump wanted to prevent. Like, actually, he's doing this thing to the whole world to like make this world better for everyone. And it's like a biggest favor. Like, we owe President Donald Trump as an Iranian. We appreciate him, and we cannot say, like, we just can say like thank you. And this is the only thing that we can do, because this is huge.
I wanted to ask you this question. Before Trump came into office, were you guys praying for Trump to be elected as the president of the United States of America, knowing that potentially Trump could, do what he's doing and, use our military to have this operation that goes out to Iran and frees you from obviously this terroristic regime that's been, like I've said already, repetitively been there for 4 decades, just absolutely not only terrorizing, the people of Iran, but terrorizing that entire region.
Yes, David. If I wanted to start this, I can say that other president, like from Democrat Party, they not only they try to stop the Islamic regime, but also they help them. They give them money to like be in power. So this is a thing that all over us Iranian knew, that if like Democrat Party won like the last election, we were done. We had like any chance. So all the Iranians wanted that President Donald Trump to win the election, like the last election, and that happened. The incident that happened to President Donald Trump before he got elected for this presidency, when they wanted to like tear him like from his eyes, from that moment when they missed, from that moment, because that was funded by Islamic regime for sure, all of us know that. From that moment, all of us, all Iranian knew, okay, we know that Islamic regime didn't want this person, so definitely this person gonna do something related to that. So all of the Iranians that I know, they wanted to this person to be the president, and they knew because President Donald Trump always put America first, and giving the Islamic regime power, giving the Islamic regime money to be more empowered, to have is completely opposite to put America first. And we know that he's not gonna do that, and we know that uh he's gonna intervene the situation. He's gonna as he said, like the whole last month that people were street, they were hopeful, and one of the reasons that they were hopeful was that the President Donald Trump tweeted that help is on the way. And you can see like there are some footage, there are some pictures from Iranian Inside that they just wrote the President Donald Trump name on like walls. They put a sticker on a street, like change the name of the street to like President Donald Trump, as to say that we support, like Iranian Inside support President Donald Trump. And because he said so many good things, like he gave so many hopes, like that millions of people that were in street, one of the reason was that the President Donald Trump gave them the hope. um, and they came to the street, they chanted for the things that they wanted, for their basic human rights, for their leader Princess of Pahlavi. And now this is the thing that all of us know, that Iranian outside and Iranian inside, all of us like support and we appreciate President Donald Trump for doing this for us.
One last question before I let you go. We have mainstream media that says that we haven't really done any damage to Iran, and they're like CNN speculation. I have to say that speculation, but they'll say that the United States is having trouble winning this current war that they're engaged in with Iran. What are you hearing from your side or people within Iran? Is the United States have they inflicted the damage that President Trump has stated that we have inflicted, where we have taken out the Navy, we've taken out their Air Force, we've taken out their bases? Are they on the run now, or is it about to be over for this for this terrorist regime that's been at the helm for 4 decades?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. This regime is at their weakest point right now, and I believe they're gonna collapse like really soon. Like maybe, I don't know. I just say really soon, like in like 2 days or like in next week, because
Is that what you're hearing though? Like from people from is it different? Like I'm like, is it different now, or like I mean, are there I want to know like what's happened? Like, are people now like in Iran like rallying?
Mhm.
More people are coming out and because they see like they're getting defeated. There's no coming back, and like the U.S. and along with Israel has really taken it to this terroristic regime.
Well, if you ask that from if people inside Iran, they're seeing it, definitely, because President Donald Trump targeted like those facilities, like Islamic regime facilities and organization, and like there are bombs like for 2 weeks, and every day, so many cities and so many targets in Iran, and they're getting paralyzed, like so many of their organization. Completely ruined, completely destroyed, that they use the schools, like primary schools, for like putting their forces in it. like their machine guns, their forces, their people in schools, and they use this as a because they don't have like anywhere to go, and that's one of the reason. And people inside Iran, they see it because and they trying to like echo them, but just very a few people can do that because Islamic regime is so scared, is so at the weakest point that they shut down the internet for the whole nation, and just for a few people of their own, to like those people are like Islamic regime people, to spread propaganda to outside the world, to like change the narrative to the world, and especially the Western media. But one thing that we need to like be careful that we should not get fooled by those propagandas. We should no, we should see that what's happening. They're coming like some footage, some videos from Iran, from actual people like the Iranian, that are regular people, that we can trust them, and all of them saying that they're getting destroyed, like Islamic regime is gonna like go away very very soon, and this is the thing that we wanted. One news that we heard like a few hours ago, that Larijani, the secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran, got eliminated, which he was a target for such a long time. Like, we want this person to get eliminated as well. And after that, Ghalibaf and AJ is like very, very important target that we hope those people get eliminated as well. But this is a very good thing because President Donald Trump only target like Islamic regime facilities, and only target like government people, like Islamic regime people, and not like civilians, not regular people inside Iran.
I'm happy. By the way, congratulations on going viral for that video. Okay, I sort of, when I was scrolling down my timeline, I didn't even know who you were. I didn't know what it was about. And all of a sudden, obviously, the captions popped up. Here you are, dancing, doing the Trump dance. That was cool to see. It's cool to see also because I brought on a lot of Iranian people onto the show to talk about the conflict, and it's just nice to see every single person that I've got to interact with. They're so just happy that then we've had other countries that were happy but I've never seen this kind of love and happiness towards the United States of America, especially Trump. He's put in a very hard position because there are people that are anti-war, there are people that are obviously are pro-war, there are people in the middle. Trump has ran a campaign about not going to war or not running operations, but Trump did say, and has said for a lot of years now, that Iran having a nuclear weapon would be catastrophic for the region and for the world. So, I am one of those where I'm anti-war, but there comes the but. If Iran is going to get a nuclear weapon, that would be devastating. I don't know why we gave them money. I don't know what kind of agreement we went ahead and made with them, which worst agreement ever, okay? But we do a lot of things here. Number one, we eliminate a threat, okay? Iran, not the people of Iran. I just want to make that note. It's not the people of Iran, but it's the regime that has done nothing but fund terrorism all across the world. And it's hurt Americans also, and Americans, the military as well. But to have Trump go there, I support that. To eliminate this regime, to end the war, end it, not start one, but end it after 4 decades. I'm in total agreement. I don't want them to have a nuclear weapon. And at the end of the day, the two things that come out of here that are great, one, obviously, hopefully we get new people in there, and elected by the people, not by anybody else, but elected by the people that can go ahead and make Iran great again. But at the same time, no more suppression of speech for you guys out there. You guys can live your life. You can know what freedom is. And also we eliminate a threat of nukes. That's it. And so I am with it. I love Trump for doing this. Going against a lot. Listen, this can cost us the midterms. Okay? A lot of people are like, this can cost, the Republicans midterms and all this stuff. He didn't care. And I like that. He went against the grain. A lot of presidents in the United States of America wanted to do this, never had the kahunas, I'll say the kahunas, to go ahead and perform this type of action. So I'm happy to see you happy. I'm glad you went viral. I'm glad to see you on I see you on a lot of podcasts, on a lot of shows. It's nice to see you guys smiling. I hope the entire country in the next few weeks gets to go out there and scream that they're finally free. That is, I really do hope that that does happen for your great and beautiful country, which was prosperous back in the 67, way before this crazy ass regime took over. And partially it's the blame. The blame can be placed on the West, a little bit on the West here for allowing it to happen. But now we go ahead and we go ahead and end it. So sorry for my long-winded rant, but I've been supporting this, man. I really have been supporting this because there are a lot of people in this country. We don't like war. A lot of people, we don't like war. We're putting our own military in harm's way. But to see them with a nuclear bomb would be catastrophic. So for the
Well,
entire
yes,
world.
just to mention one thing, that because you brought this war thing, that the people of Iran, inside Iran especially, they don't call this war. They call it rescue mission, because it's look like a war, but it's not actually, because they doing this. They trying, like President Donald Trump trying to eliminate this regime, to end like so many stuff and prevent so many stuff in future, like the conflict between the Hamas, because Islamic regime is funding Hamas, like sending like missiles and stuff to Hamas. So if Islamic regime go away, all those war, like all those support to Russia, all those support to Hamas, all other terrorist organization, and also all those money that goes to like people that spread propaganda, to like media that to like spread fake news, all those money is gonna go away, and the whole world gonna be definitely a better place to live. And this is a great thing. Like, this is not a war. President Donald Trump doing us a favor, to all of us, to all the people around the world, and all of the people should like thank them and say that they appreciate this, because they cannot imagine what's going to happen in future if this regime get power again, and if this regime get nukes in future. So this is the biggest favor that President Donald Trump could do to the whole world.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on. Hopefully, we'll have you on after. I'm gonna bring on all my Iranian friends here after this is over.
Yeah.
We'll bring you all on, and we'll definitely have a conversation, see how you guys are feeling, and see if we can tap in live into Iran to see what's going on there, and maybe even bring on a few people from that side of the world to go ahead and come and have a conversation here. But thank you so much.
That would be perfect. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it that you gave me this opportunity so we can talk about this stuff. And I really appreciate that you talk about like Iran's current situation. And I support everything that you say. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much. And God bless you. And God bless the Iranian people, man.
God bless you too as well.
Check her out. She went viral. She went absolutely viral. She made a video dancing like, but again, it wasn't just her going viral. She has a lot to say. You should check out, forget about just, checking out this show. You should check out everything she's done with a lot of other podcasts where she talks about life in Iran, like what is happening there. This is where you get your information from. You get your information from people who have actually lived there, lived under the regime. You don't get your information from somebody who's lived here their entire lives. They would have absolutely no idea. That's like me talking about Venezuela. I haven't lived there. I have friends from Venezuela. I have friends from Iran. I got Middle Eastern DNA in me. I'm friendly with everybody. The stories I hear from other people, I would never be able to explain it to you because I haven't lived that life. They can. She's a brave young lady. That is true. She's a brave young lady. She is. A lot of the Alexander that comes on here, he's brave. Him and a bunch of people wanted to go fight with the United States Army. 32,000 people were ready to sign a petition to go fight for the United States of America in this current conflict with Iran. 32,000 Iranians were ready. They call it a rescue mission. You heard it. They call it a rescue mission. Now, somebody's going to say, why don't I go and battle? I've said this before many times on this show. I'm anti-war. I'll never change. I'm anti-war. I don't like war. I'm not Lindsey Graham. I don't get excited. I don't get excited like I just took it like a Viagra every time the word war is mentioned. It's the last thing. It's the last thing we should be doing is going into conflict. It's the last thing, last resort. But when Trump and his administration have sat down multiple times, and it's not even Trump, multiple presidents have tried to sit down with Iran and try to figure out a way that these people don't get nuclear weapons into their hands. But let's go deeper than that with Iran. Let's go deeper. By the way, I just want to say on TikTok, once again, I got the restriction on live visibility warning. I don't know. I absolutely don't understand. I thought the United States of America took and bought TikTok. I thought the United States of America controls TikTok. What is going on? What is going on with TikTok? Is it only a safe place for liberals to speak and spew lies? Jesus Christ. This is why you can't have conversations no more. Because you have, these radical left people that they don't have jobs. They sit all day long. They go into the most popular shows and all they do is report. That's it. They report anything. I can say dog right now and they'll report it for harmful behavior. That's how I feel. It's like you say dog, they'll report it for harmful behavior. I named the wrong breed of the dog. They'll say misinformation. Like, this is the liberal mind. They are so brainwashed that they don't want to hear anybody else if you have a difference of opinion. Like, I can listen to a Democrat talk, I can listen to a liberal talk, and I'm not going to report. I'll listen. Maybe there's something that a liberal or Democrat will say that will resonate with me. I don't disagree with everything that Democrats have to say. There are things that they touch on that I agree with it. But they can't do the same. That's the problem. This insane side of the fence cannot do the same. They are unwilling to compromise. They think they're right on everything. The Democrats work for the elites. And I will continue to say that. They are the party for the elites. They are no longer the party of the poor. They are the party for the elites. Your TDS is getting in the way of literally watching your entire party go down the goddamn tubes. What are they running on? We hate Trump. That's it. What are you going to do for the American people? You don't know, because you don't have anything to go ahead and bring to the table to make American lives better. All you can do is restrict Americans from participating. I'll give you an example. Since all of you guys love crypto, well, Democrats love to go ahead and restrict retail from participating in the markets. On the Democrats, 44% of the stock market was owned not by retail, because retail doesn't get the ability to go ahead and participate until now with Trump in office, but it didn't get the opportunity to participate in the free markets. No. We go ahead and let foreign agents go ahead and run the show. That's right. No. We'll go ahead. You know what? We hate Trump so much. This is the Democrats' approach. We hate Trump so much, we would rather the world go to shit. We'd rather America go to shit. I still can't get over Nick Fuentes saying vote for a Democrat. We know this guy. There's no possible way you can be a Republican and say, hey, vote for Democrats. Like, there is no way. You don't have to. You could. And everything stems from, you know what? Every single thing stems from Trump going over to Iran. That's where everything stems from. That's their excuse. That's the cop-out. Oh no, he ran on no new wars, which Iran isn't a new war. It's been a war for fucking ever with Iran. No new wars, right? They picked this. That probably paid off too, but they picked this very moment to go ahead and showcase who the fuck they really are, is deranged Democrats. That's it. That's all they are. Deranged. Deranged. 300 people in a goddamn TikTok room right now. Somebody goes ahead and reports, and now we're down because limited fucking live restriction has been put on the goddamn fucking live because these animals in here, these goddamn animals, don't know how to act. They can't have a debate. They can't have a conversation. They only know how to report. And it's funny, it's the same people that know how to report, but they want to defund the police. Make it make sense. Make it make sense for me. Same people, this is the same people who want to defund the police, defund everything, okay? Let criminals just go walk scot-free. But they'll be the first ones to report and call for help. Weird. Honestly, weird. Thank God I'm not a Democrat. Thank fucking God. You know, when my parents moved to this country legally and went through the fucking process and waited to come into this country, waited to get their green cards, waited to get their citizenship, which took a long time. And they moved to a place, obviously Brooklyn, diverse. But the biggest thing growing up is that I remember it was full of Democrats. Because Democrats would come, Democratic politicians. Chuck Schumer was councilman in my area. Chuck Schumer, when he was running for council, I got on my bike with a bunch of my friends and we were giving out flyers. They gave us $20. Go give out these flyers. Go to this building, that building, give it out to everybody you see. The promises that were made. Oh, we're gonna make this area great. We're gonna build out here. We're gonna make it great. No potholes. We're gonna build a hockey rink over here, football turf over here. All these great promises. You know what happened? Nothing. Democrats would always come to our area. They were promised the fucking world, and then you would never see them again until 4 years later. 4 years later, Democrats come out. Hey, you remember us? We're gonna make. Don't worry. We know it's fucked up here. We know we promised that we're gonna make everything great here. Vote for us. We just need a little bit more time. That's what it was consistently in Brooklyn. For those who are watching from New York City, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the fucking promises, all these flyers. We're going to do great things. Look at Mandani. Mandani said free buses, government-owned stores, everything free, all free. And guess what? Not only are the tax getting increases in fucking property taxes, but you are as well. If you're not in that bracket, everybody is participating in socialism. Free parking no more because they need revenue. So they're going to take away free parking and charge your ass for parking. This is all true. This is all coming from the mouth of Mandani. I'm just repeating it. And it's funny. It is funny. Democrats flip and say, that's not true, even though he's saying it. Even though he's saying it, it's somehow not true. Nothing is free. Anybody who has family, who has come from countries where socialism was put into place, communism was in place, they will tell you nothing is free. It doesn't work, and it's not free. There's a cost. There is absolutely 100% a cost to all of it. Also, I don't know if anybody has crypto in their goddamn user handle. I don't understand how you can be a fucking Democrat, especially after what they did to the crypto industry, especially what they did to retail participants who wanted to participate in all markets. I don't understand this. Do you like abuse? Do you just like to get abused? Like, just answer me that. Do you like abuse? Do you like a belt to the ass? Because that's what you were getting for 4 years with Biden. And Biden wasn't even running the show. You actually believe that Kamala Harris brings something to the table? Do you even understand what the fuck she's talking about? Do you even understand what she's uttering out of her mouth? It's so bad that CBS had to clip it up and put it together. No, they had to package it in a way that it made sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. Democrats, you didn't even get to vote for your... when the whole thing happened with Biden, you didn't even get a primary. You didn't even get to vote for the person that you wanted to run. You didn't even get to... You didn't want Kamala. Come on. And one of the embarrassment, white guys for Kamala Harris, that was embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. And I can't even watch Hollywood anymore. I cannot watch Hollywood movies no more. Every person in Hollywood talks a good game. They don't even donate. They haven't ever stepped out. They have never been to any one of these countries that they support. Like oh my God, free this one and free that. They have never been anywhere. We got Hollywood actors living in $25 million mansions, okay? Got fucking chefs galore cooking them fucking the Michelin star fucking dinners. They're acting as if they've lived a terrible life. Like America's treated them so bad. And Democrats are okay. Democrats are absolutely, they won't pass the Clarity Act. They probably want to fuck up the Genius Act. Like, they want to do every sort of act. Like, as a one-issue voter, you should be all for the Republicans. Like, there's no case to be made. That you can't have a case against it. It's wild. Your portfolios got destroyed by the Biden administration. They literally got destroyed by the Biden administration. You're going to talk about, oh, we ran up. Yeah, because they printed. They printed fucking money. That's why we ran up, because of COVID. Yes. Anybody could have been in office. But every single policy that they put out there was anti-crypto, led by Senator Warren. Like, I don't get it. Help me understand how you can be in crypto and be like so gung-ho for a Democrat. It's fucking weird. It's weird. It is absolutely fucking weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. It is 1:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trump, like if you fucking look at the grant, I wish I had a whiteboard. I wish I had a whiteboard here so I can just illustrate what Trump is doing and how he's, whether you like Trump or not, how he's saving America, man, from becoming China's bitch. Like, I don't understand how you don't get that. China has done everything to set themselves up to go ahead and take over. You want China to own your ass? Like, I don't get that. You want China to run shit? You want them to run the world, a communist country? You want them to run shit? You don't have to like me. You might think I'm arrogant. You might think I don't know what I'm talking about. You might think I have a low IQ. You might think I know nothing about crypto. Okay, no problem. Do you not see what China was trying to do? Have you not sat back and watched what China was trying to do to the United States of America? Do you not see that they were trying to take over? And they didn't have to do it physically. Do you understand? They were laughing at Americans as we fought over pronouns and we doom scrolled. Meanwhile, they educated their kids to build rockets. They educated their workforce to build quick, cheap and quick. That they were getting into other countries, sliding a little money over here, Venezuela. They're trying to take over Russia. Russia doesn't like China. They just got to work together because Russia is excluded from the entire world with all them fucking sanctions. So Russia has to work with China. But China's goal is to take over parts of Russia. But you guys are not gonna, you guys don't know about geopolitics. You don't know what's happening. You don't know nothing about anything. You just watch CNN. You watch fucking Rachel Maddow tell you Bitcoin's bad, right? You remember Rachel Maddow telling you how Bitcoin is trash? Well, I guess you don't. And all you guys are going to bring up is the Epstein files. Funny that you didn't bring it up when Biden was in office, but you'll bring it up when Trump is. And that's one of the greatest things that the Democrats have done is make sure that they didn't expose their friends and family, but they passed it on to Trump and then made sure that Trump had to bring out these files, which he has. He signed the goddamn bill to bring out the files. What more can he do? It is up to Congress to do the rest. You guys are fucking idiots at times. I look, you know what? I read the chat after I'm done with this show and I see some of the fucking comments and I'm like, you have to be fucking brain dead. So he signs a fucking bill stating to release the Epstein files. And now it's up to the House and Senate to do all this shit. It is up to Congress. And yet it still goes to Trump. Trump can't do shit. His hands are tied. You guys talk about Trump's doing everything without Congress's approval. Well, he signed an order to release the fucking files. Now what? But you're not going to mention the Democrats and the Republicans, some of the Republicans too, that don't want to release them. So you don't want to mention these rhino son of a bitches. You just want to keep on going by Trump and the Epstein. He's already signed off on them. Now what? He's done everything. Now what? Why aren't you calling your local politicians? Why aren't you calling your representatives? Why aren't you calling the senators that you've elected and asking them why that shit's not out? Why don't you call them about why don't we have funding for DHS? Because we have criminals now that possibly are crossing into the United States of America and committing crimes. Why aren't you getting so vocal about that kind of shit? You'll sit here and teach somebody who has family members that fucking ran away from fucking communism. You're gonna sit here in your fucking grandmother's basement eating chunky soup, watch my show and tell me about a life you've never seen. You're gonna tell me it's great that China almost took over the entire fucking world. That's what you're going to tell me, and I'm gonna sit here and not say a goddamn word. But not a goddamn son of a bitch went ahead. If you cared about the victims of the Epstein and you want all these victims that Epstein went ahead and created, then why weren't you so gun-ho when Biden was in office? Why weren't you contacting your representatives? I didn't hear this fucking rally because you don't give a shit about the victims. Let's keep it a buck. You don't give a fuck about the victims. This is just a fucking political talking point for you. You don't give a fuck about the victims. Respectfully, okay? I care about that kind of shit. People know my fucking background. I've spoken about my personal life. Victims, my mother was assaulted. My mother was assaulted. Every day there's somebody who's assaulted. You don't give a fuck. A lot of you guys just talk out of your fucking asses. Because if you goddamn cared about victims, you'd be out there a long time ago fucking preaching what you're preaching. Save me that bullshit. I want the motherfuckers that participated in this shit arrested as badly as anybody. Welcome to the breakdown. We'll be back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Breakdown, episode 684, sponsored by Midnight, also sponsored by Polymarket, Cake Wallet, and the People's Reserve. People's Reserve is new to the program, and there's a lot more coming. So I want to thank the sponsors, obviously, for sponsoring the show. Much respect for that. 100% much respect for that. Like I said, next month we will have the political show and we will have a standalone crypto show as well. So there'll be 3 shows: the breakdown, the crypto show, and the political show. And there'll be names for it, obviously. and it'll air on all networks. Yeah, I said what I had to say. It's just frustrating that Americans should, be standing side by side. American people, the American people should be standing side by side, regardless of political parties. The Epstein thing just got me fired up because I care about the victims. I really do. I don't want to know who the victims are. I really don't. They should have their privacy. What I want to see is every single one of these son of a bitches that participated in this fucking ring absolutely fucking locked up for the rest of their fucking lives. That I do want to see that. I do. And I honestly don't really, I'll say it this way. Hopefully it doesn't get taken out of context. I don't care about the files. I care about people getting arrested for committing those type of heinous crimes. That's what I care about. You care about the files. I care about people getting arrested. That's what needs to happen. The part where they get arrested. Whoever participated needs to be arrested. And it needs to be done in a way where, you have a whole crowd, both sides, Democrats. I think anybody with a fucking brain or with a soul or a high IQ understands we need to let, the DOJ, we need to let all our agencies do their work. Because there were people probably obviously on the flight logs, which we've had out for a very long time, that flew on his plane. They didn't go to the island, but they flew on his plane and they're probably innocent. This guy infiltrated, this guy Epstein, piece of shit, infiltrated, okay? And started building a network. And he started becoming friendly with people. And how do these people know who you meet somebody, you don't know who the fuck they are. You don't know what skeletons they got in their fucking closet. So the DOJ has to take their time and look at it thoroughly. Now, the people that have gone to the island, if there's evidence of them doing absolutely shady, the most shadiest and demonic shit in the world, arrest their asses. That's it. Arrest them. Put them in prison. That's it. It's very simple. Again, like I say, I don't care about the files. I care about people getting arrested. I care about people getting justice. These victims getting justice. That's it. And this shouldn't be a political issue either. It's like, hey, let's get the people that were a part of this ring, regardless of what positions they hold, okay? Whether they're senators or representatives, councilmen, kings, queens, it doesn't matter. They should all be thrown in the same cell for the rest of their lives. That's it. It's very simple. Very fucking simple. I don't care about the files. DOJ, FBI, whoever, do your job. Just you guys do your thing. Put these motherfuckers in jail. That's it. What are you going to do with the files? I mean, the files are out there. What are you going to do with them? Nothing. Nothing. I want law enforcement to do something. We don't need a bunch of vigilantes going out there and doing anything. I want law enforcement doing things. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. If you can't agree with what I just said, then that's on you. You're a fucked up individual. If you can't agree with that. What's better? What's better? By the way, Iran. So people say they care about people, right? And I'm not saying that we should go liberate people because we're not very good at that. We're not very good at liberating anybody's ass. Okay? We're just not good at that. It's time and time again we've shown that we don't have a really good track record with liberating people. like in terms of bringing in like a new regime. Though people can say, look, Iraq is on its feet again. A lot of people can say a lot of things, right? But I'm just saying in general, like the last thing that I want to do, I'm going to say this again. The last thing that I want is war. But do you want Iran to have a nuclear weapon? Like, seriously, Democrat, Republican, sit back for a second. Do you want Iran to actually have a nuclear weapon? Would it be in the best interest of the United States of America for Iran to have a nuclear weapon? Also, then think, besides the whole nuclear stuff, you have China, who I will talk about and stress this again. You have China. You have China who has tried to go ahead and put together, which they almost did. They try to take over the world. China has tried to take over the world while Americans were scrolling, like I said, on TikTok, doom scrolling and just absolutely not paying attention because we had weak leadership that did nothing but negotiate with terrorists. Okay. China was going around new monetary system, BRICS, Venezuela, Iran. I mean, like, they were doing everything possible to take over. And here comes Trump saying, homie, I don't play that. And is steering us back into the right direction. How can you be against that unless you want to live under China's rule? I'm not saying China was going to take over the United States of America. What I'm trying to say is they would have became the number one superpower. And in all essence, when you're the number one superpower, you get to do things. You have Canada that is trying to work with China. Think about that, because the prime minister didn't like the way Trump spoke to him. Because Canada felt like they deserved more than we already give them, which is basically we support their entire GDP. We support them from a military aspect. If somebody attacked Canada, guess who helps them? America. The United States of America is who would help Canada. That is, we are your neighbor, we help. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of Canadians that understand this. Alberta wants to leave. They desperately want to leave and no longer have any association with Canada. People understand this. It's just people that have been brainwashed by politicians. If you don't know somebody, the more you tell them that somebody's bad, like, have you ever seen this or experienced this in your life? Like, even my haters, right? Which I'm not going to talk about my haters ever again. I just encourage more of you guys to participate. If you notice, a lot of your haters in life, they don't know who you are. They just see you for the first time, and they're either two things are happening. One, they're basing their perception of you off of somebody's perception of you. So now they're looking at you like, oh, this person's disgusting, but they have no clue who you are. They've never talked to you. They've never met you. Or you have somebody that judges you immediately because you might not agree with them on a certain, oh, this person's a monster. That's it. And that's what's happening with Trump. You have people that have listened to Rachel Maddow speak and say that Orange Mad Bad, he's the next coming of Hitler, which is disrespectful to all Jews or anybody else, Christians, Catholics, Polish people, African American people. We can keep going. Even though 6+ million Jews got murdered, basically murdered and executed, plus other individuals, you're just spitting on these people by just freely saying that. Fascism. What fascism? Please tell me, where's the fascism that you speak of? What fascism? The world's gone mad. The world has gone mad. Charlie Kirk got assassinated for preaching about family, the nuclear family, and God. I want you to think about that. Charlie Kirk got assassinated. God rest his soul. The man got assassinated because he was preaching about God and the nuclear family. And he didn't believe in transitioning. He had his opinions. Just like you have your opinions, and they might differ. But there was no Charlie was a part of the alt-right. Like all these things led to his assassination. You putting these words out, Trump's life, attempts on his life multiple times because of the words that are put out there by mainstream media and by officials. Think about what I'm saying. If you're a normal person, you'll understand. If you have no IQ, you're fucking lost. And God bless you and God help you. That's all I gotta say. Charlie Kirk, for speaking his mind, was assassinated. For going into universities and having debates with people who disagreed with him, but trying to have cordial discourse with people. He deserved to have his life taken. That's because the rhetoric that was put out there led to his death. The same way that the assassination attempts on Trump's life, it all came from the rhetoric that was being spewed by people that are just absolutely fucking nuts in the head. You can disagree with people. You don't have to go ahead and share the same opinions as people. But to go to that extreme is fucking crazy. That's fucking insanity. Again, I hate being repetitive, but like, man, this country, I gotta tell you, decades ago, this country was great. The ability to speak with people, it was so much better than it is today. Now people, I gotta say, I just really do believe that it is absolutely horrific to talk to somebody that is a fucking Democrat. Like it's fucking insane. I can never have a normal conversation with the Democrats that I meet on social media. I don't know if it's because on social media you can be whatever you want to be kind of thing. Because in real life, when you talk to somebody from the Democratic Party, there is adult discourse going on. But on social media, it's crazy. People celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination on TikTok. That was allowed. You know what? That was allowed. The celebrating of Charlie Kirk's assassination was allowed on TikTok. But me talking about what's happening in Iran and how it's being reported, that's not allowed. Make it make sense. Make that make sense for me. Wild. You had people go on dancing and celebrating. You had people that were praying that Donald Trump was going. Did you see the videos when in Butler? And by the way, people saying that the assassination attempt on Trump's life was fake. Disrespectful to the people that died that day. Disrespectful. Crazy. Like y'all gone crazy. You don't even think you don't think before you speak. Oh, it was all fake. It was all staged. Was it also staged that the guy lost his life? Young man, firefighter lost his life who leaves a family behind. That was also staged? It is absolutely crazy. Wild, man. Absolutely, absolutely wild. Welcome to the breakdown episode. Man, I am on fire today, man. I am on fire today. 100%, man. I'm on one today, man. I just think that the world's gone insane. Like you can't even talk. You can't talk about certain stuff. Like TikTok was bought by an American company. You still can't go ahead and talk about. You don't have freedom of speech. You don't. X is the only platform that gives you freedom of speech. That's it. Bottom line. And Getter, and Truth Social. That's it. TikTok don't give you the right to go ahead and speak. No, because like you got liberals in here. They're sitting here and they're fucking doing the reporting. I don't know how the algorithm is telling me that I'm supposed to be. I am misinforming people that CNN is out and reporting in Iran. That's misinformation. No, wait, that's accurate information. God bless the United States of America. Honestly, God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. God bless the administration. Not everything's going to be perfect, but you know what? I'd rather this than Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. I'd rather this than Biden and Kamala Harris. I'd rather this over any of this woke shit that has absolutely separated and divided this goddamn country. I am all for that versus whatever the fuck you want. It could have been somebody other than Trump, and I still would have voted for that option over this woke virus bullshit. I would have voted for anybody else who, listen, one issue voters, like I said, why would you vote for somebody who doesn't care about crypto, who doesn't understand technology? Why would you vote for somebody who hates crypto? You guys are in crypto. Why would you finances, being able to go ahead and participate in the markets, which is a privilege that you should have, which they have made impossible. Think about it. The banks get away with everything. The banks have gotten away with everything and they get fined. They get fined nothing. They'll make a $500 million profit and get fined $5 million. They will take that every single day. Wells Fargo went ahead and made fucking accounts up. They literally created accounts. They got slapped on the wrist. Nothing. Crypto got demolished. Crypto was absolutely destroyed. Companies were trying to build. Real companies were trying to build and they were getting destroyed. You people sit in here and you love XRP. Ripple was getting hammered. For what reason? For building? They were getting hammered for building. They had to spend millions of dollars to go and get that verdict from Torres, Judge Torres, to say that XRP is not a security, which helped this entire industry. If you can hate XRP, you can hate XRP all you want. You can hate Ripple all you want. You don't gotta like Brad Garlinghouse. You don't gotta like Chris Larson. You don't gotta like David Schwartz, and I don't know why you wanna like him. But at the end of the day, Ripple went ahead and put their money where their mouth is. They went and you can agree to disagree, but they fought for the crypto industry just like Coinbase did. No matter what hiccups you can have with Coinbase, they went ahead and fought. They fought for this industry. Projects that had legitimate use cases were getting tortured. Tortured. They were getting tortured. People had to leave this country when we could have had revenue from the innovators who are innovating shit on the blockchain. We could have had revenue in the United States of America kept here. No, they were chased away and they were sent off. They had to seek other countries out that accepted blockchain. Think about that. Think about that. And we are the crypto capital of the world. Or people want to claim that we are. We're not yet. We need to get our departments right so they can classify what crypto finally is, because 4 departments within the United States government classify it differently. Anyway, welcome to the Breakdown, episode 684, sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. Also, shout out to Polymarket, Cake Wallet, and the People's Reserve. People's Reserve just came on. If you don't know about the People's Reserve, you go ahead and check out my last episode as I broke it down. It is 2:28 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm 28 minutes over. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in. I'll have to email once again TikTok, and this is getting frustrating because I actually thought that an American company now owns it. So why are we still on only one side of the fence that gets to talk? Are we still on that shit? Or are you upgrading the algorithms? Or is this an issue that has come from the previous organization and you're upgrading the algorithms? Because I'd really like to know. And please do send me the manual on what I can and cannot say on your platform, TikTok, because it's getting really annoying. It really is getting fucking annoying. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, shout out to the sponsors. We'll be back with episode 685 tomorrow, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll go ahead and chop it up. We'll have Landy back at 12:15 p.m. We'll break down the markets. I don't know what's happening with the markets right now, but I'm sure it's in, let's see, quickly before I go, it's still 74,442. That's Bitcoin. Solana's at $95. And we got, what do we got? Ethereum at 2334. Total market cap for the industry is at $2.64 trillion. So we're moving. Will I be right? I said Q1 2026, we will see crypto start slowly going upwards. Will I be right? We shall see. We shall see. If all the research that I put in, we shall see if I'm right. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to my moderating team. Tech, Fran, thank you. Everybody who tunes in constantly, thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow. Have a pleasant day. God damn it. Tomorrow.